When I was younger, I was in Walmart and I was eating a tube of Pringles and I ate them while my mom paid, but I forgot to let the guy scan them, so I walked out the Walmart and the alarm went off and I just started running because I got scared and my mom couldn't find me because I was hiding behind the newspaper things, and the Walmart people called the police because I was missing, and when I hear them show up I thought I was a criminal, so I left my mom a note on the newspaper that said I went to Mexico to start a new life and not come looking for me, and then I took off running with my Pringles and ran for like an hour, and then the cops saw me walking down the road so they pulled over, so I started running again, and then they were using the car intercom thing and they told me to stop running. So when I did, I thought they were gonna put me in handcuffs and take me to jail, so I was crying and I slapped the officer in the stomach and tried to run again, but he just held me back, and when he asked me what happened to me and I told him, he started crying because he was laughing so hard. And he just gave my mom $2 for the Pringles and he was still laughing when he left. And that's the time I was a wanted criminal.
All better buckle up because this one's a ride. One day when I was 11, my mom let me use her laptop so I can study for my classes and shit. I got so bored while studying, so I decided to go on some frisky websites, until this ad popped up. It said, "Congratulations, you've won a free MacBook Pro. Click here to claim it." I thought, OMG, holy shit, I got a free laptop, now I won't have to use my mom's and she won't have to save money to buy me one. So I clicked claim. It redirected me to a blank page and then everything went frozen. I couldn't click out of it or shut off the laptop and I started freaking out. Not because I thought something bad was happening, no, I was freaking out because I thought someone else was gonna claim the laptop before me. The camera started flashing indicating that it was turned on, and I started hysterically crying because I thought it meant that someone else claimed it. My mom heard me hyperventilating, so she ran into the room in a panic, and she found me slobbering on her laptop while the screen was blank. She ran over and hugged me and asked what's wrong, and that's when we heard a dark, low, demonic voice from the laptop say, "We found you," before it shut off and wouldn't turn back on.
One day, I was at McDonald's. I decided to order a chocolate milkshake. Bad idea, by the way. I was drinking my milkshake when all of a sudden, I needed to fart. But it was more than a fart. I shat all over the seat and my family. Everyone started staring and laughing at me because I let out the most sloppy, ploppy, goggy, foggy, smelly, pig's belly, slimy jelly shit ever. I could have been mistaken for a rocket, because my shit was making me fly up in the air. I saw someone recording me and I was like, "Oh hell no, you stinky rat, very fat, fishy fanny." I grabbed their Dora flip phone out of their hand and said, "Never do that to me again, you stupid bitch." I didn't even care that she...
One day, I was at school. We were in science class and we were making explosions and shit. I was a bit of a rebel in school, so I decided to mix every ingredient I could find into one bowl. I then proceeded to heat it over a Bunsen burner. I now realize that was a bad mistake. It exploded all over the students. It made the school shake, caused an earthquake. Even my teacher, Mr. Bumcrack Shakalak, was covered head to toe in this creamy mess I had created. My head teacher, Mrs. Basila Moldymole, expelled me from school for 1 week. But I said, "Nah, fuck you, bitch." And I walked like a badass out of my school, with a baddie playlist on. I came back to school the next day and everyone was so impressed by me. Every time I have science, I am not allowed to participate. The explosion I made that day was as loud as a hippo giving birth. I am now the most popular person in the school and everyone wants to be my friend. Mr. Bumcrack Shakalak wants to be my boyfriend. And Mrs. Basila Moldymole said she would be lesbian for me. So suck on that, bitches.
Once in like 4th grade, we were in class doing work and suddenly the principal told us we were going into lockdown and that it was not a drill. So we all got into the corner of the room and someone banged and shook the door aggressively and we were all scared and about to cry except me because I was a little psychopath and I thought the thrill was fun. Anyways, after a while we were all told to go into the gym by police. A cop, by the way. They were yelling at us to go when kids were pissing themselves probably. So we got to the gym and the principal told us it was actually just a drill and none of it was real, and I will never ever forgive them.
So, I have a friend. Let's call her.
One sunny morning I woke up in the middle of the night. I sat up and looked around violently, and that's when I felt my finger throbbing. I looked at it and it was filled with a creamy cream, so creamy you could churn it for butter. I ran to my mummy's room in slow motion and told her violently, "Oh mummy, there's something bad happening to my tummy," and she collapsed in slow motion. She got up rapidly and inspected my thumb, and she had fear in her eyes. She put on her glasses and grabbed an old dusty book and said, "I've seen this only once before. It happens so rarely." I said, "What could be possessing my thumb with an ungodly cream?" And she slammed the book shut. She said, "We need to go to the hospital right this instant." We sped to the hospital as fast as we could in slow motion. We arrived violently and that's when I got brought out on a stretcher. I was taken to the immediate surgery room and they began operating while I was still on the stretcher. She grabbed my hand violently. "Oh mummy, my body is starting to feel numby," and she collapsed in slow motion. I'm not ready to die. The surgery lasted for 17 hours and it finally finished. We were in the waiting room sitting violently when the results came in. My mummy opened the envelope to reveal that it was just constipation cream. My mummy spent the rest of the day wiping my bummy.
inside. So one day I went to the history museum with my friends because we really wanted to see the dinos. I was super excited to go and I had packed my awesome lunchbox with my super duper scrummy yummy ham sandwich. It was halfway through the day when we got to all the sick fossils. I looked over and saw this girl's mom holding her up to take a photo next to the fossil. But then all of a sudden nom nom chom chom. Her head was gone, clean from her neck. I screamed so hard that my vocal cords got minced just like minced meat. Me and my group ran as fast as we could towards the exit door. Everyone was yelling as this massive fossil dinosaur was chasing after us with rage in its eyes. Some people got shoved behind and their poor unfortunate souls got squished squashed crackle snackle bish bash bosh oh my gosh underneath the feet of the dinosaur. Some kid got shot so far into the air I'm convinced he is in Earth's orbit. I was sweating so bad and all of my friends were yelling for everyone to get out. I heard this baby shard its diapers splash dash squelch in fear. Me and my friends managed to escape the museum with a few snapple apple MC tackle knackle shackle oops scoop scoop snoops dog broken rib cages and butt bones. The museum was blown up with an atomic bomb bim bam boom sassy explosion and it was never to be seen again. Me and my friends went to hospital and thought we were going to be okay. But then the whole hospital went snap crack bang dingle mingle hoop loop shit mid row row raw in the air and got eaten by the dinosaur. Thanks for listening. I have a story. One day in 5th grade we were on a field trip. On the bus I was sitting next to this weird girl named Patty McBerry. For some fucking reason Patty was so excited about the trip. We were going to a fucking museum. What the actual fuck, who likes museums? They are so fucking boring. Anyways, halfway through the trip Patty McBerry started coughing viciously. She had a seizure due to overexcitement. She was shaking from happiness for the rest of the ride. When we got there Patty McBerry ran out of that bus faster than coronavirus spreads. She fainted because she was so excited. The tour guide had to hold on to Patty while he showed us around because she was too hyper. Out of nowhere, Patty McBerry broke free and ran right to the live animal section. She went to the gorilla's enclosure and smushed her face against the cage wall. Then out of nowhere she starts climbing up the fucking wall. Patty McBerry jumped into the enclosure and tackled the gorilla out of excitement. The gorilla ate Patty and she died. When I was little everyone in school would always bring in their favorite toy to play with during golden time. All of the people in my class would fight over who had the best toy in the room. One day I decided to bring in my Peppa Pig stuffed animal. It had a little speaker inside and would play the awesome theme tune when I got to school that day and it got to golden time. I got my Peppa toy out and everyone in the class was so very jealous that they were physically bowing to me asking me to play with it. This girl called Yucky Yasmin Throw-Ups and had her Paw Patrol toy and no one wanted to even look at it. It kinda looked like one of those messed up SpongeBob popsicles but dog version. Its eyes were on its stomach and it was basically a demented cow. She was so mad that she grabbed my Peppa toy and ripped out the speaker. I was so angry that I pulled the biggest scream that almost ripped the teacher's ears off her head. It sounded like a foghorn. Heads were torn. Scooby snacks. Broken backs. Pepsi can. Strange man. Blown away by a fan. Bath bomb. Stinky mom. Shit perfume. Zoomed around the room. Fat chunky monkey. Smells like funky. Dead plants. Pants in your ants. Frozen peas. Wobbly knees. I grabbed Yucky Yasmin's Paw Patrol toy and put it right into the teacher's paper shredder because that's where it belonged. When it came out of the shredder it didn't even look any different to when it went into the shredder. So I decided to take it and dunk it into the PVA glue. Yucky Yasmin started to cry and ran out of the school. I went home and happily got my Peppa toy fixed. But Yasmin in the end found out that she had no more Paw Patrol toy. Hehe.
It was Halloween one year and we were handing out candy to the little undeserving bastard shits that knocked on our door. This one fat ginger bitch knocked on the door and of course she chose the biggest candy bar in the bucket and she said she wants another one. I said listen here you tubby orange bitch, you get one fucking candy bar, you don't look like you need another one. She grabbed another candy bar from the bucket and started laughing at me and I said to her, if you weren't in a costume I would think you were the grand pumpkin you giant orange bitch. She took her shoe off and threw it at my face, and that's when I lunged at her and tackled her off the balcony. I started pulling at her orange haystack hair and she started screaming for her dad. Her dad dragged me off the little ginger bitch and he yelled at me saying who the hell beats up a 7-year-old. I said me you old twat and I took her entire bucket of candy and walked inside. The cops came over and I started fake crying saying she attacked me first and I was defending myself, and my dog was agreeing and defending me. The police went to the tubby ginger thot's house and shot it up. That's what you get for messing with me you expanded Ed Sheeran looking bitch.
One day I was playing Roblox. A few minutes later I met this guy in Adopt Me. We became friends. Then a little later we started dating. I gave him my number and we started texting. He wanted to FaceTime but I had to go to my grandma's house so I told him I would FaceTime later. Either way I was a little nervous to FaceTime. Okay anyway I got to my grandma's house and I decided to bring my laptop because I still wanted to play Adopt Me with my boyfriend. I noticed that my grandma was on her phone the whole time. She literally never goes on her phone. Like when I went to say hi to her she literally slapped me and told me to go away. Like bitch chill out, what did I do? Anyway I went to join Adopt Me and I saw that my boyfriend was online. I joined and gave him a free giraffe. A second later my grandma jumps 5 feet in the air and she screamed yippee yappy wappy hoo ha hey and she fell on her back. That was the moment I realized I was dating my own grandma. She got rushed to the hospital. A day later my mom told me she died. We went to her funeral. It was going normal until all of a sudden I hear the Adopt Me music coming from her funeral casket. So one day my mom told me and my siblings that she had saved up enough money to buy her dream car. We were like yes queen period. Anyways after she picked up her new whip she took us and we got some yummy McDonald's. My phone was on Bluetooth and we were blasting music and having a full-on karaoke session and all that fun shit but of course I had to fucking spill my Coke but my mom said it's no big deal but I expected a whooping. The next day while she was cleaning her car we had to go outside because we had a cleaner. I was learning the new WAP dance and didn't realize my phone was still on Bluetooth.
So this is what my mom heard.
Now from the top, make it drop. That's some wet. That's some wet. Now get a bucket and a mop. That's some wet. That's some wet. I'm talking wop, wop, wop.
My siblings were laughing like bitch fucking shut up. My mom asked what WAP means and I had to go with the classic, and told her it meant waffles and pancakes smirking face. The next day she went shopping with my stepdad. Me and my siblings woke up with waffles and pancakes and had a note that said, had to go to the shops, hope y'all enjoy the WAP.
Story time about me being stupid. So this was years ago, just to keep that in mind. I was probably about 5 at the time and I think I had a sugar high. So all my family was at my nan and pa's house and our older cousins were also there as well. So as you all know, Cooper Cat is my brother that's also on this app, so I'll tag him in the caption. So my nan and pa's house is double story, and my nan and pa have an old bunk bed that my mum and her brother and sister used to sleep on. My nan and pa kept the bunk bed there for when my cousins, Cooper, and I was born. So like I said before, I had a sugar high, so I climbed up the stairs, and I was stomping on the first floor near where the bunk bed was. All of my family was downstairs so they could hear the noise I was making, so I thought I was really smart, and I decided to climb on top of the bunk bed, and I literally jumped, not fell, jumped over the wood thing to make sure you don't fall off the bunk bed, and banged my feet so hard on the floor and it made a really big thud that the rest of the family could hear me from downstairs. My mum thought I died, and my pa was the one that the most maddest person out of everyone in the family to get angry with me. The reason why he was the most maddest was because after I jumped, my mum yelled at me to come downstairs to see the damage I did. Turns out I popped the light out of the ceiling. But the light still worked, it just got popped out of its spot. Anyways, hope you enjoy the story I made about my stupid 5-year-old self.